And we were doing what every other company was at the time, that teams would bring in a slide deck and walk through the slides, rarely ever get through the deck because you have everyone's peppering with questions. Some were answered on the next slide. Sometimes there just wasn't enough information in the deck to answer the question. And part of my job as chief of staff was to really help make Jeff a more effective CEO. And Jeff and I were studying something from it was Edward Tufte, a professor at Yale, who wrote a great essay called "The Cognitive Style of PowerPoint." And Edward Tufte proposes we'll use narratives, not slides. He gives examples of where you can have breakdown in communication. And so it was Jeff who, it was one day in June of 2004. He said, "I'm going to ban slides for this weekly S-team meeting, and everyone, from this point forward, needs to come in with a written narrative. That's how we're going to evaluate, get information and make decisions at S-team." And so, one, it was I talked about these processes. We didn't really create the Amazon operating system in theory and then impose it through the company. It was, we had a very specific problem we were trying to solve at the time. We were going to try something. Some of them didn't work, some of them changed, but they were meant to really address specific growing pains that we were having. And here at the S team, the stakes were getting higher, the dollars, and the magnitude of the business and the decisions were getting bigger. We were getting less information each week, and the meeting was still 4 hours, so we needed to figure out a way, how could we make higher quality decisions at this S-team meeting? And so Jeff's idea was, let's try narratives. If the worst case, we could go back to using slides after a couple weeks. So it was a reversible decision. That was one thing, but no exceptions. Starting next Tuesday, the teams have to come in. A couple years later, Jeff would call switching to narratives one of the best moves that Amazon has ever made. He does not say those things lightly, I can guarantee you,